Oh my lord, we're recording.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, you guys are both transfer students. What's the deal with that? That's my only question.
The deal. Things didn't work out at my first school because I was immature. And then I transferred to a community college, and then I transferred here due to unforeseen circumstances.
You want to elaborate on those?
I was gonna go back to my original school, which was Arizona State, but I got a DUI. So not for driving drunk. I feel like I would like to state that. For the record, I didn't get a DUI for driving drunk. I got a DUI because my registration was expired and I like to recreationally smoke marijuana.
I'm sorry.
So anyway. Yeah, my parents were really pissed off about that one. They're like, yeah, you're not going back to Arizona. You gotta stay local, so apply to some schools locally. Which luckily I had already applied to Temple as a backup school, like just in case, because I had started dating a guy who I really liked. I was like, what if I like him too much and I don't want to go back to Arizona? And yeah, so I applied to Temple, and we broke up like way before I got accepted, but I decided to come here instead of applying other places. And I don't regret it at all. Temple has exceeded my expectations 100-fold.
So, I was a dumbass and I did not apply when I was coming out of high school. And I decided to go with going to places that had athletic scholarships for me and things like that for lacrosse. So I ended up going to Lock Haven. Hated that place. There's a lot of racism, homophobia, and a lot of bad things at that place.
You are transferring.
Yeah, probably.
Probably?
Probably. It's not 100% just because I need to know the way that money works out.
Okay.
Because my family doesn't want to be broke, and I don't want to be broke. So, this sounds crazy, but my cheapest option right now is Princeton. Because they will give me money. They're only $6,000 more expensive than Temple for me per year. And everything else is like 40,000 a year, 30,000 a year. So that's why I'm not going to transfer until about my junior year. Because even though it might not transfer, I'm trying to find classes that look like they'll transfer into the programs I'm looking at. And I'm just trying to save as much money as I can.
The good thing is that Lock Haven is dirt cheap. So, honestly, I'm not like that much into debt. So,
That's good.
I'm chilling. I mean, there's gonna be stuff. I mean, honestly, in my head, I'm like, you know what? There's gonna always be stuff to pay back, no matter what, most of the time. So, but yeah, everything's been pretty dirt cheap for me going through school. Thank God. I mean, originally I was gonna go to a private school, and thank God I didn't. Yeah.
I didn't realize that I wanted to do linguistics, but when I came here, I took my first linguistics class, I fell in love with it, and lo and behold, we don't actually have a linguistics program or department, so that was fun for me. I tried to self-design a major, and that would have worked out, but it turns out for a linguistics graduate program, you need to take a linguistics undergraduate degree, or at least you should take one, because otherwise it'll be insanely hard to get into those programs. So I was like, I guess I have to leave, and here we are.
I originally went in as an international studies major, and then I realized that I love media and I love all of these things, like what we're doing now, essentially. So I changed my major at Lock Haven, but if you think about it, Lock Haven is in the middle of nowhere, and being a media student in the middle of nowhere is literally the worst possible thing you could do. So I decided to transfer, and my grades were not good at Lock Haven because I hated it there and I was not doing well. So I came back, took a year at community college, and then I applied here. And I do not. I'm gonna graduate late. I know that I am, but I do not regret it. Really, water in the background. Music in the background. I'm trying to quiet on fucking set. Honest to God. We're dealing with amateurs on it. We're dealing with this.
As someone who hasn't started looking at it yet, because I'm gonna go next year, I've heard it's different, but I haven't experienced these things firsthand. I know they still want your high school transcripts, apparently. They still want your test scores. But they also want your college transcripts. They want to see your experience. They want to see, like, how your classes might transfer. They want your GPA. And I have a bunch of notes actually from my friend. Am I allowed to pull those out?
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, anything with like, say like the bluish color of those, like I feel pretty okay about my chances getting in. It might be a pretty good school for me. Anything orange, I'm kind of like, like say that one's in the middle of, Wisconsin, which is far away. Princeton, I might die of stress. Georgetown is also pretty competitive. The price tags are obviously a little different. Princeton is nice and cheap, only $6,000 more than Temple right now, and I am really digging that. Their average ACT and SAT. Luckily, I'd be on par with Princeton, but I'm not higher than a 33, so still worrying. Application fees, if they take the Common App, transferable credits, AP credits, and my final verdict.
Like knowing that transfer students kind of like have it a little bit easier than first year students, like going into college from high school, like you are like so anxious and there's a lot more competition. A lot of colleges are way more lenient with grades and things like that you need to transfer in. Like I was freaking out for a little bit about whether or not I was going to get accepted because I didn't know what my GPA from community college was, like added up with my awful GPA from my first college. And a bunch of my friends were telling me like, oh, don't even worry about it. You're transferring in, they're gonna accept you. Doesn't matter. I was like, what? Is that a thing? I guess so. I mean, you'd have to be like a really bad student to not get accepted to a transfer. Or at least here, I don't know.
I am a little worried about losing contact with my friends here, because like I really do like them. Like I like you guys. And I'll be like, hey guys, I'm in Wisconsin now. And you guys will be like, oh, she's irrelevant. So.
Probably the worst thing about being a transfer student is like having to start a whole new life again. Like you build a whole life at your college, like all your friends and your activities that you do, and like you get so comfortable in your routine and you just expect that it's like always gonna be there. And then especially for like, I don't know if you are still like in contact with your friends from Lock Haven or like if you get to hang out with them, but like my friends from ASU are literally all over the place. Like they've either graduated by now or they're from California or Washington or Chicago or like all these far places that is like I can't just go and see them. So it's like I miss my old life a lot. Like kind of feels like you're like split in two, like you want to go back to your old life and like see all those people that were like your family.
This year has probably been one of the best years of my life for sure. Because I mean, I was a happy kid like going up and going to high school and stuff like that, but like the 2 years like that I went to college, like that was like the worst year. The last 3 years have been like the worst years of my life, like by far. This year has been fucking amazing. So it's just, that's what I mean by like transferring is the best decision I've ever made in my life for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. I can't imagine if I hadn't have gotten that DUI. I would be in Arizona, probably screwing up my life again.
Weed is good.
Weed is so good.